Hey everybody, this is Julie. I'm going to be recording a video for our foundation class for this coming Saturday, and the focus of this class is going to be on back bends. So when I think of foundation of a posture, it is like the foundation of a house. It's that which supports you in the posture or the asana. So when we're talking about back bends, you're going to see, and I'm sure many of you already know, that even an upward facing dog is moving into a back bend. And what we want to focus on today is how to move into these back bends safely. So again, welcome. Glad to see you all. I'll meet you on the mat. Sun's coming in, so I may have to turn my mat around. So just find yourself in a comfortable seated posture, Sukhasana, maybe sitting on a block, if you have a block, or a book, pillow, bolster, and just find your way into a place of comfort. And if that means sitting on a block is not comfortable, then don't. If it means coming into child's pose, an active child's pose, and just resting in that space for a few minutes as you find your breath, then go there. So I wanted to talk about, just briefly, the benefits of the back bends in yoga. It's always helpful to know why we're doing the postures that we're doing and what the benefits are for our body and our mind. So back bending opens our heart chakra, and the postures work to build our courage and stamina, and as well as giving us a burst of energy. They're also said to lower stress and anxiety, improve posture, spine flexibility and mobility. It stretches out our abdominal muscles and increases oxygen levels and opens the body to that diaphragmatic breathing that I've talked about many times. So this keeping the back bend in your practice and moving through it safely will also help to alleviate the back and the neck pain. So if you're not careful on how you move into your back bends, you could also lead to pain and injury. So that's the opposite side of finding the foundation of this asana and doing it safely. Otherwise, you'll put, the tendency is to put the pressure directly into the lower back, which is what we're trying not to do. And if you're sitting at a computer all day, you want to just make sure that before you do many back bends that you do warm-ups to warm you up, such as our cat and cows that we do. And just, I will remind you as well, but when we're moving into back bends, we're always lengthening through the spine, and we're gently drawing our tailbone towards the legs. And you're engaging your inner thighs and your transverse abdominal muscles to avoid an extended anterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so I'll talk you through all that. So again, let's just get started. If you're in an active child's pose, that's fine. You can stay there if you're sitting on your seat. Sukhasana, easy seat, that is good too. Maybe closing your eyes just for a moment and take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale, let it go through the mouth. 2 more, in through the nose and let it go. 1 more, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now breathing in through the nose for a count of 3. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, and exhale for 1, 2, 3, for a count of 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And just give it your deepest, longest inhale. And exhale, mirroring your inhale. So if you're in a Sukhasana position, let's make our way so that we are all into an active child's pose. So opening your knees and touching your toes behind you, shifting hips back, reaching arms forward. Maybe your hips are still lifted. That is good, right here with your hips lifted. Or maybe you're drawing your hips back closer to your heels. Just lengthening through the spine and breathing deeply. Now walking your hands over to the right side of your mat, lengthening out through the left side. And inhale back to center, full inhale and exhale. And walk over to the left side, stretching through the right side. And coming back to center one more time. Maybe set an intention for your practice, the reason you're here. And release the intention with trust, knowing that what you send out will come back on time as it is meant to be. And slowly make your way back to your hands and your knees. And take a moment, look down at your hands. Notice your wrists are under your shoulders, that your fingers are spread wide and equally. And push into each finger pad and firm down through the knuckles, creating a bit of a contact with the mat, with the earth, as if you have little frog hands. And then your knees are grounded all the way to the tops of the feet. So you can tuck your toes under if that gives you more support, but eventually try to work towards spreading down through the tops of the feet and pushing down, grounding down through your feet and your knees and your hands. Now gently, without moving your knees, draw your inner thighs together and find your lower belly and draw that up and back. And then through that space, without allowing any collapse in this position, just draw your chest through your shoulders and gently rock your hips up towards the sky into a cow. So it's a very deliberate cow. Inhale, open through the chest, gaze to the tip of the nose. Now keeping that abs drawn in, thighs drawn in towards each other, round into your back and find a nice rounding action to a cat. Let your chin come to your chest and inhale into your cow and exhale cat. And take 3 more, just like that. Just noticing how this drawing in of the transverse abdominal muscles, grounding down through the hands to the knees, to the shins, the tops of the feet are pushing down. That you're creating that foundation, that support for your movement. If you're taking it into your lower back, try to open through your chest from your mid-back, keeping your lower back lengthening instead. So it may not look like you're moving as deep, but you are moving perhaps more safely. And then begin to roll through the elbows and the hips, rolling forward and back. And just let your head go, your jaw relax. your tongue release. And just opening different areas of the body that might be a little sleepy this morning, this evening. You go one direction, go the other direction. And then coming back to neutral. Now walk your hands a little bit forward as you stretch out your front body again, taking your hips to your wrist and your chest open. Now reach through your toes. So ground down, push down through your hands. Draw your chest, lift it forward and up. Now if you feel it in your lower back, really draw back your lower abdominal muscles, your Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha engage, shoulders back, chest open, and then round into the back, staying, supporting that lower back as you roll back, hips to heels, and then roll again forward, open up, roll back, coming forward again, and back. Now rising to your hands and knees, come down onto your belly, slowly, and just reach your arms nice and long out in front of you, and reach back with your toes, maybe lifting your legs up, getting as much length from the crown of the head to your fingertips, just stretching out. And take a breath here. Maybe your chin is down. And working your hands back behind you without straining on your shoulders. Interlace your palms together, bring your palms together. And just gently lengthen your hands towards your heels. Now reaching through the toes. So you're lengthening, you're contracting your quads and then drawing your thighs towards one another. You're going to keep your shoulder blades together and just gently lift your chest as you keep your pelvis down and your feet down, the tops of the feet down, and take 2 breaths here. And lower down, taking your left ear down, gaze to the right. Maybe release your hands for a moment. Take 1 breath here, deep inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 3, 2, 1. Bringing your chin back to center line. Taking your hands back behind you again. Extending your arms long. Now really tuck your tail under, so roll the tail under so that you feel that pubic bone push into the mat. Work your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift your chest, reach through the tops of the feet, draw your thighs together, keeping your feet down, lifting your chest a little higher. Now maybe lifting your toes, lengthening as you go. Lift your chest, reaching long. And breathing for 3 breaths. For 1, 2, and 3. And then taking your right ear down, gaze into the left, and just take a breath here. And bringing your chin back to center. Bending your right knee. See if you can reach for the top of the foot. Your chest is down. And you're just working the right heel towards the right buttocks. It may help to lift that knee up. Kick your foot into your hand just to get as much length in the quad. And your back leg is the front of the back right knee. The front of the right leg, that quad. You want to stretch that out as you draw the heel closer to your hip. And breathing here. And then release the right foot. Now take that left hand, left foot, work the heel to the buttocks. You're on your chest. Maybe again lift that knee and work the knee away from you. You're going to feel more lengthening of that left front quad. And just releasing both hands and feet. Now bending the right and bending the left. Reaching for the top of the foot. Maybe reaching towards the ankle as you flex the feet. And on the inhale, if you want to lift your chest up slightly, but keep your knees grounded. Keep lifting your chest. Feel this in your mid-back, not in your lower back. Keep drawing your lower abs in and kick your feet into your hands, but without too much strain on the shoulders. Just a gentle drawing away, lengthening for 3 breaths for 1, 2, and 3. And just releasing your hands and your feet. Now coming up into a Sphinx pose so that your elbows are parallel to the front of the mat and your palms are grounded. So in Sphinx pose, fingers are that spread wide. And then just tuck your toes under again to draw your knees away from you so you get as much length on the backs of the legs and really engage your quads. Try to soften through the buttocks, but squeeze the mula bandha, center of the pelvic floor. Squeeze that space. Squeeze in the transverse abs between your hip points, drawing that space up. Now draw your thighs towards each other. Keep working your elbows back towards your hips and just ground down through your feet to your hands. So push down to find a little lifting action. See if you can find lifting in the space where your shoulder blades are. If you're feeling this in your lower back, then just ease off. Draw that belly back to the lower back spine to support it. And take 2 more breaths here. Now straightening your arms. So again, straightening your arms, drawing your shoulders back, release your buttocks muscles, find the length and the opening of the heart from the heart center where the shoulder blades are, your mid-back, and breathe deeply into this space. One more breath. And then slowly lower down. Now bringing your hands to your chest, working your elbows in towards your rib cage. Bringing your feet together, lengthening through the tops of the legs all the way to the toes. Push down through your hands and lift up. Now lift your hands off the mat for 3 breaths. And lower down. Using your hands to support your posture, push down to inhale, lift up, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale, lift up, exhale, lower down. Now inhale, lift up and straighten your arms. You can keep your knees down. So I want you to lift your hips slightly so you're not taking this into your lower back. So you're lifting your chest forward and up and your abs are supporting, your thighs are drawing together. And then exhale, slowly lower down. And inhale, lift up. Straighten your arms, push from the earth, open your heart, gaze up or gaze to the tip of the nose, and exhale, slowly lower down. One more time, inhale, rise up, and maybe lift your knees, reach through the tops of the feet. Lead your hips towards your wrist, forward, lead your hips forward, your shoulders back. Take 3 breaths here for 1, 2, 3. And then slowly lower all the way down to your mat. Extending your arms long out in front of you. Draw your chin towards your chest and lengthen so the crown of the head is reaching forward. Your feet are drawing back. And then using your hands to lift yourself back up to your hands and knees. So from your hands and knees, open knees wide, toes touch, and just shift back into a child's pose and stretch it out. And then rise back to your hands and knees. So tucking your toes under. Good. And walk your hands back towards your body. With your toes tucked under, you're now sitting upright, sitting on your heels. So you're stretching out the soles of your feet. If this becomes too much, you can always lift up, take a little break, come back down. Of course, you can always, we're not going to be here for very long. So just reaching your arms out, just reach them, tee your arms out, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Work your shoulder blades away, draw your lower belly in, and then reach your arms up. Let your shoulders even draw up to your ears. And then let your crown reach longer, open through your chest. And then come back to your hands and knees. So you just work your hands forward and tap out the tops of the feet. Now tucking your toes under, lift your knees up, let your knees hover. As you breathe. So isometrically, you're pulling your palms towards your knees to your palms, your abs are engaged. A lot going on. And lift your hips up, let your heels stay lifted, and let your head just drop down. And then slowly begin to pedal out through the heels, through the knees, bending alternate knees, walking your dog, pedaling out through your feet. And then lifting both heels up. Feet are about hip distance apart. So lift your hips higher. Draw your chest through your shoulders. Let your head go. And then slowly lower your heels back and down. You may or may not reach. And then inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower back and down. And inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower back and down. Now lifting the right leg up into a three-legged dog. Push through that heel. So only lift it as high as your hips perhaps, as you flex through the heel to reach the heel away from you. And then point that toe and lift the leg higher. And bend the knee. Take the knee to the sky. Roll your ankle one direction. And then the next. Extend that leg out and lower it beside the left. You can get a twist into this posture or not. Extend the left leg out, flex through the heel depending on how you approach it. Point the toe, lift the leg higher. Bend the knees, heel to the buttocks. Open the hip, roll the ankle one direction. And then around to the other side. Extending the leg out, lower it beside the right foot. Just drop your knees, Sit back onto your heels and stretch out for a moment. Take one breath here. Come back to hands and knees. Lift your hips up. And gently walk your feet to your hands. Inhale. Find a half lift so you can take your hands up your legs or palms on the mat. And exhale, fold in. Just let it go. Inhale, lift up, engage bandhas. And exhale, fold in, let it go. One more time, inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold and let it go. Now slowly tracing your hands up the legs. You get to standing, shrug your shoulders, up and back a few times, maybe forward. And find your way standing in Samasthiti. So here your toes are touching, your heels touching, or toes touching, heels slightly apart, or feet hip distance apart if you're pregnant or back injured, whatever allows you to find steadiness with ease. Find grounding down, pushing down. Actually push down as if you're about to jump off a diving board. And then draw everything into center, back in. So then the calves, knees, thighs. Mula Bandha engaged lifts. Uddiyana Bandha draws back to center. Rectus abdominis is engaged. Shoulders roll up and back. Now lift your chest. And open your heart. Draw your chin up and back. Gaze to the tip of the nose. And we'll move through 5 sun salutation A's just to warm up the body. So take a deep inhale and out through the mouth, exhale. Now inhale, reach the arms up, palms come together, gaze to your thumbs. And exhale, fold forward, reach towards the ground, knees can be soft. Now step back into your high plank and hold your high plank. Either hips lifted to support your back, or if you can really engage your bandhas, drop your hips, lead your chest forward and hold this for 2 breaths for 1, 2. Now dropping your knees. Just drop your knees where they are. Take the tops of the feet down. Lift your chest. And let your elbows come back. So you're going to let your chest hover over your mat. And then press away, lift up. Your knees are down. Again, if you need to lift your hips back slightly so you're not feeling in the lower back, go there. Open through your chest. Just tuck your toes. Lift up and back into a downward facing dog, gazing through your legs, and take 1 breath here. And then coming forward, stepping your feet to your hands, finding a half lift with the inhale. Fold in fully with your exhale. Bring your forehead towards your legs. And then inhale, arms come up. Gaze up, so lengthen up, reach up. Ground through the feet, reach through the hands, extension. And then exhale, with that reach, keep folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, back into your plank. Either knees dropped or lifted as you move through Chaturanga. Hover. And then press away to lift up through the chest. Roll over the toes, down dog, gaze to the navel, and take a breath here. And inhale, lift heels, bend knees, step the feet to the hands. If you end up taking another breath in that space, that's fine. Inhale, same inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold in. Feeling the prana rising in the body, the energy lifting up, gaze up. And exhale, dive forward slowly with intention. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, back plank, knees lifted or lowered, chaturanga hovering. And then press away to your up dog, cobra. Back into down dog. And take a breath here. Lift the heels, bend the knees to step forward. Jump forward if that's in your practice, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up, supporting the lift, using your bandhas. And exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step it back, plank. Chaturanga to hover, not to come all the way down unless you must. And then press away, lift upward facing dog. Roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Gaze to your navel. And inhale, hop, step, jump forward, feet to hands, half lift. So that's lifting your chest, lifting your head, and then exhale, folding in, drawing your forehead towards your legs, and inhale, rising up. We have one more. So lengthen up to gaze up. And exhale, fold forward. Keep that lengthening in the spine. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, step back. Plank, chaturanga dandasana. Pressing into your up dog. Back into down dog. And take a breath in down dog. Now step your feet a little closer to your hands in down dog. Maybe your hands a little closer to your feet. So that your heels are grounding if at all possible. Maybe it's just not going to happen because your calves or your Achilles heel, you're dealing with a tightness in the back of your calf muscles. But grounding down if possible. Take the right hand to the outside of the left calf and draw the right rib towards that left leg. And breathe here, take a breath. And taking the right hand back to down dog and work your left hand to the outside of that right calf. Twisting, gazing through your right arm, or just gazing to the right corners of your eyes, and take a breath here. And then taking your hands back to down dog and find your way into a plank. So from your plank, just drop your knees and shift your hips back to your heels. Your toes can stay tucked under and stretch it out. And using your hands back towards your knees and sitting back onto your heels again. So from here, we're going to work towards a gentle camel pose. So you're going to just maybe roll the front of your mat back towards you, or use a cushion of any sort that you might have for your knees. So we're going to come up to kneeling. So start out kneeling. So even when you're kneeling, you're not kneeling directly on the kneecap. You're a little bit more to the front part of the knee, so that the kneecap is not holding all the pressure of kneeling. And if this just is not going to happen for you, you can also do this standing. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, gaze up. Now tuck your tailbone underneath you, so it's a pelvic tilt. So if my butt is going out that direction, then I'm rolling the tail under as if the tailbone is actually sliding through my legs. It's tucking, lifting your hip points up. So here you have a little more support through the body. Now draw your thighs together as you just reach up, lengthen up. Now take your right hand back, maybe either for the back of the thigh, the calf, or the heel. And take your left arm and reach it back behind you. So you're moving your hips forward, you're bending through your mid-back. So it may be that you stay right here, just your hand on your waist, just supporting your chest lifting. Not as much in the lower back. The lower back is actually lengthening, and then come back up. Take your hands forward and just sit back onto your heels, keeping your spine long, so we don't want to undo the length that we have created in the body. And then back into your knees, Ustrasana. So this is a camel pose. Reach your arms up, and you can just stay here lengthening, tucking your tail, drawing your thighs together. Or taking your left hand back towards that left thigh, or the calf, or the heel, and just reaching your right arm up and over, gazing to your right fingertips or gazing forward, and just working your hips forward and breathing here for 2 breaths. And then coming back up, stretching long, and gently taking your hands to your thighs as you sit back on your heels. So if you've rolled your mat forward towards you, then just release your mat. Come back to your hands and knees. Bring your knees together, your heels together, and gently sit back on towards your heels and stretch out, reaching your fingertips forward into Balasana. And then coming back to your hands and knees. So now tucking your toes under and lifting your hips up and back into a down dog. You're going to flow a little bit here. So inhale, lift the right leg up and draw the right knee towards the left elbow. So you're hooking it, you're crossing. And then inhale, extending the right leg out, 3-legged dog. Draw the right knee to the right elbow. And then inhale, extend the leg out and draw the right knee to center line. Knee to forehead, chin to chest. And then extend the right leg out and step the right foot in between your hands and come into a low, deep runner's lunge. Maybe you need blocks and you're using blocks. Now keeping the back heel lifted, just reach your arms forward. Now keep that length happening here as you lift your chest up. Keep that back heel lifting. Draw the left hip to the right, open through the chest. If you want to go into a slight back bend, it's going to happen in your rib cage space, in your mid-thoracic spine. You're going to lift up and open the chest, reach your arms up, gaze forward or up, and take 2 breaths here. Mostly what you're feeling is a sense of lengthening, spreading through the spine, the little spinal muscles. Spinal spine is opening, little vertebrae are lengthening. And then again, reach your arms forward very carefully, very slowly, and then bring your hands down to the ground and just step your front foot back either into a 3-legged dog or straight into a downward facing dog. And take a breath in your down dog. And inhale the left leg out behind you. We're drawing the left knee to the right elbow, maybe tap it. So we're just stretching out, twisting. 3-legged dog. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale, extend it out. Left knee to the forehead, chin to the chest. Mad cat in the back. Inhale, extend it out. Now stepping the left foot in between your hands and coming into nice, long, strong lunge, breathing. Runner's lunge, lunge, however you think of it. You can come to your fist, you can use a block. And then you're going to want your back heel to stay lifted directly over the ball of the foot. So sometimes I'll see the heel will roll out or in. So you got to keep everything facing forward, the heel lifted as you rise up into reaching your hands forward, lengthening. So get that length, keep that length as you lift up. Don't let it go into your lower back. So tuck your tailbone, draw your thighs together, lift your rib cage off your hips, maybe go into a slighter, deeper back bend, working your hands back and up. Your chest is open. Your back bend is coming through the mid-thoracic. You can even take your hands and support that action, like push your hands into that space to open up behind the heart. Keep the arms open, heart opener. And then work your hands forward, slowly. Draw your thighs together, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana engaged, hands down. And gently step that left foot up and back into a 3-legged dog. And drop the left foot beside the right in a down dog. Come to a high plank. Drop your knees down. Cross at your ankles. And then sit onto your seat with your legs extending long out in front of you. So we're going to take a little bit of a forward fold, so moving the flesh from the sitting bones from Dandasana, that's your seated posture, Dandasana, Asana. And extend your arms up again. So reach long. So forward folds and back bends, the foundation is always coming from a strong grounding down through the body. Whatever's touching your mat is pushing down, or rising up, whatever's lengthening to the sky is lifting up. With every inhale, there's a lift. With every exhale, there's just a re-softening of the body. So take a deep inhale and gently fold forward, trying not to put a rounding into the spine, but not worrying. Don't get excited about there being a round in your back body. Eventually you'll work it out. So, and then inhale, lift your chest, straighten your body, open your heart, and then exhale, fold forward. So you begin to see all of the back bending that we do in the simplest of postures. Even a forward fold is back bending. So I'm opening my sternum up to lengthen forward. That's a back bend. It's an upper back bend. but you're drawing your bandhas back to hold, support the lower back, protect the spine and the nervous system. And then inhale, lift yourself up. So we're going to lay down on our back and just reach your arms up and over your head. And maybe reach through your toes. So again, lengthening. And then bend both knees and cross the right shin over the left thigh, flexing that right foot. And just weave your hands through your left leg, reaching for the back of the leg, and just work your right knee out to the right. Just opening through the hip here is what we're doing, but you're grounding through your lower back again. So you can appreciate your lower back at all times, your sacral area. And then let your left foot come down and cross the right, cross the left foot over the right. Open that thigh out, so there you got a little hip rotation. Then work the right leg towards you, flex the foot. Just move side to side on your sacrum. And release. Good, draw your knees in. And just rock and roll yourself up to your seat. So I want to stretch out through the arms just a little bit more. So coming any way on your seat, you're going to be crossed at your ankles. You can come back to your knees. We're going to just reach our arms up, lengthen, and then put a bend into that left elbow, keeping that right hand supporting that elbow, drawing back, and the hand drawing down. So you stay right here. If your right shoulder is feeling perfectly safe and you haven't been having any issues with your shoulders, then you could take your right hand out, thumb down, reach back around and go for the bind of that hand. Again, we're just working to open our shoulders, so as we move into a deeper back bend, that also is a deeper shoulder bend as well. And then release and reach both arms up. And bend the right elbow. You can stay right here. Just use that left hand to support the elbow. Just to work through the shoulder blade. Keep the back shoulder blade connected to the spine. And then take the left hand out when you're ready, if you're ready. And just reach back around. And we'll take 3 breaths for 1, 2, 3. And release. So let's come back to our back. So coming to your back and bending your knees and reaching for your ankles, your heels. Okay, so work your shoulder blades together as you lift your hips and take your hands together underneath perhaps the sacrum or your bum, depending on your body. Work your shoulders closer together and lift your hips higher. So this is very much what we were doing in our camel pose when we were on our knees and we were reaching either for our heels or calves or the back of our thighs, and we were drawing our hips forward. It's the same, except we have the ground in which we can push away from with our feet. And then our chest is lifting up. So underneath, again, your mid-back is what we're trying to really open that space. And take 3 breaths for 1, 2, 3, and slowly lower down. Now you never want to come out of a back bend and go into an immediate full forward fold. So you can just draw your knees towards you and just release through the lower back and take a very gentle release. Maybe one Apanasana, drawing the knees forward and back. And then let's try that again. Think camel. Think we're on our hands and knees. We're reaching our hips up and our hands are already at our heels. This is beneficial to have the ground to support us. And keep lifting your hips. And as you work your shoulder blades together, then your sternum is lifting up. It's like this mid-back space, as if I was right there coming underneath your shoulder blades and lifting you up. That's what we're doing, okay? And then lifting your chest to your chin and your chin away from your chest. You never want to put direct pressure on the back of your neck. And then slowly come down. Because that area of your spine is those bones were never intended to carry direct pressure. All right, and gently drawing your knees in so they're not meant to be the foundation. If you want to go into one more, any variation. So if you've been doing back bends for a while and this was just like a little refresher course and you want to go into a wheel, then your hands come back by your ears and you would start by coming to the crown of the head and you would stay there and then gently push up through your arms into the full wheel. So I'm going to stay with the bridge today. I did a wheel yesterday and today I'm going to stay with bridge. So your hands, and you're allowed to think that way. Whatever's right for your body at that moment. So inhale. So as I lift up my hips, I'm actually rolling my tail towards and underneath my knees in that direction. Towards the underneath of my legs. And then shrugging your shoulder blades together and lifting up higher and breathing for 3 wherever you are, full wheel or not. 2 and 1. Slowly lower down one more time. Draw your knees in. Apanasana. Now rock and roll yourself forward and back, massaging your spine. And come up to a seated posture, extending your legs long out in front of you. Move the flesh from the sitting bones. Reach the arms up. And then lengthen up, lift your shoulders up towards lift your shoulder blades up to the shoulders. Reach your shoulders up to your ears. Just keep finding more space in the body. Now work your shoulders down gently and fold forward and just let it go here wherever you land. You can take 3 breaths. And then using your hands, lift yourself up, cross at your ankles, roll over to your knees. So you're coming back to kneeling. So again, pretend that we're on our back with our knees bent. And we're just going to, as if we're on our back with our knees bent, we're going to reach our arms up and over our head. And just lengthen out. Feel your shoulder blades as if they're grounding back into the spine. Now draw your tailbone under you. Now lengthen through your spine. Draw your tailbone under you. Now draw your thighs together and find your bandhas, your mula bandhas lifting up, your uddiyana bandhas drawing back. And just open through your chest. Keep opening up from your mid-back. If you feel it in your lower back, you've gone too far and you've got to go back and start over again. So that you're feeling it in your mid-back. You're not feeling pain, you're feeling the stretch in your mid-back as you just keep reaching your hands back. You can gaze forward if it's too much on the neck, or you can gaze back and lengthen and breathe. And then slowly come back up. Hopefully nobody felt that time felt it in your lower back. Then you can just take your hands forward to your thighs and just take a little cat action as you sit back onto your heels. Keep taking your head forward and finding your way rounding into a little ball. Reach for your heels. And maybe go into rabbit pose, lifting your hips, lengthening through your arms. Let your head hover and breathe. And then slowly hips back to heels. Bring yourself up. So I hope that you're beginning to see all of the different variables that we do in back bend. So when you hear, oh, we're going to do back bends, you don't look at it as only that full wheel. There's many, just about every asana we do is encompassing a back bend, a forward fold and a back bend, cat and a cow. So come back to your hands and knees, cross at the ankles, and lay down onto your back, and stretch it out again. So we lengthen, we open, we fold, we extend, we breathe. Now draw the right knee into the right shoulder and cross the right knee to the left. This time let the knee drop all the way down, if possible, to the ground. Maybe your shoulder blade is lucky enough to still be on your mat. Maybe it's lifted, that's okay. So knee to the left, gaze to the right corners of your eyes. Come back to center and hug that knee in towards the right shoulder. Now extend the leg up. You can also bend this left knee if this helps support your lower back staying grounded. If you can reach for your toes, go there. Otherwise your calf or maybe your hamstring. And just open the leg out to the right. If you can take your toe, take your toe. Otherwise, go where you can reach and gaze in the opposite direction and take 2 breaths here. Extending the right leg up, draw the right knee in. Extend the right leg and draw the left knee in. Cross the knee to the right, maybe let it go all the way over. Just twisting and gazing in the opposite direction. Just stretching out through your hips and getting a gentle stretch in your mid-back, twist. Coming back to center. Drawing the knee back in, extending the leg to the sky with an inhale, and exhale, and then open the left leg out to the left, maybe gaze to the right, maybe the leg comes all the way out. If you want to feel it connect with the world, see what happens to this right hip, see if you can get it back grounded, and then come back up, just exploring the body safely, drawing the left knee back in. Now draw the right knee in. Reach the legs up in an L shape. Take 5 breaths in L shape. Maybe your hands are under your hips to support you. I'll count it out. So 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Taking the soles of the feet together, working your shins towards you, let your thighs open up, lower back down. Take 2 breaths here. Draw your knees together, hug them in. Maybe bring your knees to your inner arms, inner armpits, so that you can reach for your toes or the inner or outer edges of your feet. Feeling your entire spine, getting a little massage on the ground, and maybe coming into a happy baby with the feet up, moving side to side on the sacrum, putting a smile on your face. Maybe extend and lengthen through the legs. And then release your hands from your feet as you crisscross your way down into Shavasana, engaging your abs. And landing in onto your mat. Shrug your shoulder blades together if you need to bend your knees. So let your knees drop in. If that's, then you would still lift your hips and tuck your tail. And then maybe again you'll be able to straighten your legs and just find Shavasana. So take a deep inhale in through the nose. You're in Shavasana. And exhale fully out through the mouth. Let it go. And feeling nice and settled in your Shavasana. Grounded, supported by your shoulders. Your eyes are closed. Feel the eyes heavy, drawing back into the eye socket. Your jaw's relaxed. Your tongue's released. Your throat's relaxed. Your shoulders back and down. Your hips are grounded. Your legs are open from your thighs to your knees, to your calves, to your toes. And your hands are by your side, palms facing up, or one is on the belly and one is on the heart. And your breath is moving freely through your body. And your mind follows your breath as though you're laying in a beautiful field, on a gorgeous, beautiful, comfortable comforter. And you're gazing up to the sky where the clouds are white and puffy, cumulus clouds. And they're creating shapes and forms that you watch as the forms come in and the forms move and change and transform into other shapes. Without attaching to, oh wait, but you just let it go. And you just watch it, the mystery of it all. And that's the same with your thoughts as they come in. They come in, thoughts you want to attach to them. Maybe it was the thought that you've been looking for and you're like, ah, there it is, there's the answer, and let it go, it'll come back. And just stay grounded. Stay relaxed. Stay in Shavasana as long as you have time for. And when you come out of Shavasana, come out slowly. I'll see you all back on your mats. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. I know you're out there. Namaste.